Right, so what did we see? We saw Bitcoin reversing here, and we have now retested this low. Now, the impressive, there's positives and negatives here on the chart. The positive is we're still inside of this band, right? We're still inside of this realm. The positive is also the last 2 days we've been piercing this lower band of 30,000, and they've rescued. It is also the last 2 days we've been piercing this lower band of 30,000, and they've rescued the market. They've rescued. You've had buyers come in and keep price right around that 30,000 daily close, give or take by a little bit. Today, we're up just fractionally on the Bitcoin price. All right, so again, those are some positives. The negatives are this. Look at how long we've been going sideways. Yes, this is known in technical analysis as bullish consolidation, but really bullish consolidation should break out by now. All right, you should have had a breakout. Doesn't mean it can't, but probabilities begin to shift, right? We start to say, okay, it hasn't been able to. Think about this. There's the old analogy, and I love this analogy. This is an analogy I use about resistance or support. Think about yourself. You're outside of your house. There's a fire in your house. You have your cat or your dog in there. You need to break it down, right? So you ram against that level. That's resistance. You're ramming your shoulder into it. You hit it once, it probably doesn't break down. You hit it twice, it maybe doesn't break down. By the third or the fourth point, the door gives way. Okay, that's the thought process. So if we look at Bitcoin, you hit it here, you hit it here, here. You even kind of got halfway in, and it still didn't give way. And so what happens is, let's say there's that fire and there's that cat or that dog inside that you want to save, and you get to a point where you ram the door 50 times and it still doesn't break. What are you going to do? Well, you're going to figure out another way. You're going to maybe go around to a window. You're going to go around to the back door. You're going to leave this area and move away. And that's the thought process where if you can't break out after a certain amount of time, the path of least resistance is to, in this case, the downside, all right?
Renowned U.S. presidential hopeful Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has unveiled a visionary plan that aims to strengthen the American economy through the backing of the U.S. dollar with hard currency, such as precious metals or Bitcoin. Speaking at a momentous event on July 19, Kennedy emphasized that this strategic move could restore stability to the nation's financial landscape. Kennedy's approach involves a gradual implementation, starting with a modest 1% backing of issued T-bills by hard currency, be it gold, silver, platinum, or Bitcoin. The success of this initial phase will guide further adjustments in the level of backing for the dollar, demonstrating his commitment to responsible financial management. Beyond the backing initiative, Kennedy has pledged to encourage crypto adoption by proposing tax exemptions on Bitcoin to U.S. dollar conversions. By doing so, he aims to attract investments and foster an environment that incentivizes businesses to thrive within the United States, rather than seeking crypto-friendly jurisdictions abroad.
Again, to summarize, Bitcoin's still within this range, but again, if we confirm below this level, you're now headed to 28,500 or so, this pivot, and if you break through that, let's talk about where we're headed. This is my target. Okay, target is 26,900, basically around 27,000. Amazing trend line. Now, I want to be clear on this. As long as this trend line holds, this one here, this white one, then Bitcoin can be bought on pullbacks. Okay, why? Well, very simply, this is an upsloping trend line connecting all the pivot lows together. That means it is an uptrend. The trend is still up. If you break this line and you start trading down in this range, the trend is not up anymore. It has failed, and now you have to think you're probably headed back. First support would be 25,000, then potentially 20,000, and eventually, if you keep breaking these pivot lows, you're going back to that 15,700 level.
In another exciting development, prominent analyst Plan has captivated the crypto world with a staggering prediction about Bitcoin's future price. Utilizing the stock-to-flow S2F model, which considers Bitcoin's rarity and production rate, Plan forecasts a remarkable surge, with Bitcoin potentially reaching an astonishing $500,000 during the next halving event. The S2F model's track record of accurately predicting past price movements lends credibility to Plan's projection. although it currently shows a variance from the current Bitcoin price of around $31,000. Plam contends that such deviations are natural and do not invalidate the model's reliability. As the community awaits the unfolding of events, it's essential to approach predictions with cautious optimism, understanding that the cryptocurrency market can be unpredictable. In conclusion, the prospect of backing the US dollar with Bitcoin and Plam's optimistic Bitcoin price prediction have generated considerable enthusiasm within the crypto community. Yet, as always, it is prudent to remain informed, closely monitor market developments, and remember that while predictions are intriguing, the future remains uncertain. Let us observe with anticipation what lies ahead for Bitcoin and the exciting world of cryptocurrencies.
All right, so again, that's your summary. Now, on the upside, let's just say Bitcoin eventually breaks out, which, again, I'm a long-term bull, so eventually I do think Bitcoin breaks out. My upside is very simple to calculate here. You take this pivot from 2019, you stretch it right through here. This is my ultimate kind of, 6 to 12 month upside target. You can see that's a beautiful trend line through these lows right through here, and that's around 45,000. So again, if you're able to break above this level, this 31,000, and confirm, then you're headed to about 45,000. There is resistance around 35 that you'll have to monitor, but I still think, again, the momentum probably carries us up to about 45,000. All right, so that's your summary on Bitcoin. Quickly looking at Ethereum, guys. Ethereum, again, this is the beauty of it. Look at this little channel right in here. If this breaks, we head down to this level around $1,730, $1,740. If this area breaks, we're probably headed to this pivot high right up here at around $2,130. Now, one thing I want to say is, this is the beauty of it, guys. Everyone, when I go on interviews, they always ask me, well, what's your big play here? What's your thought process? What's your max downside? And my max downside still is 12,000 on Bitcoin, with worst case scenario of 9,000. Now, 9,000 would be achieved only if you see a stock market collapse, because it would be a liquidity draining panic scenario, right? So people would run away from risk assets, and Bitcoin would have probably a